Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Crypto here, and I hope you're all doing well. What is Donald Trump doing at the moment? He's tanking the markets, he's tanking crypto, he's tanking the tech stocks. Look at that, we've had big moves down towards the downside in terms of Nvidia, Amazon, Meta, Netflix, we've all been pulling back. The stock market in general, like the Nasdaq, the S&P 500, all been pulling back. But we have got the dollar, which is moving towards downside. But what's he doing? Is he giving us opportunity to buy in these dips that we're having at the moment? And in this video, I will be talking about the stock markets, but I'm also going to be talking about crypto in general, and also going to be talking about Crypto.com, CRO token, and the Lion token as well. But yeah, what we're seeing at the moment, we're seeing a lot of fear in the stock markets, because at the moment these tariffs are giving very much in terms of uncertainty, and the markets, as we all know, do not like uncertainty. But when there's blood on the streets and there's fear in the market, is this, if you've got spare capital, what you're willing to potentially lose, is this an opportunity to buy the dip? Like exactly what Warren Buffett did. He was crazy. He was selling last year. He did the right move. Billions of dollars. He went back into the dollar. He's buying into Japan and stuff like that at the moment. But what's happening is here, as he says in previous times, when there's fear in the blood on the street, there's time to buy. When people are panicking, that is your sales. It's like January sales after Christmas. You get these sales. Is it worth buying? And then the price starts moving towards the upside. That's what I'm doing. I'm buying Nvidia, Palantir. I'm buying a few other stocks as well. I'm also buying a few stock in crypto as well. I'll get into that in just a little bit. But look, fear. We've also got fear in the markets. We all dropped down to around about that 15% in greed and fear. Fear and greed, should I say. The fear went down to 15, which is absolutely crazy. We moved up now to 33%. We've had a bit of a, is this sort of like this move up to the upside, a bit of a dead cat bounce, and then we're going to drop down? Or is this going to be momentum carrying on towards the upside? But at the moment, with the stock markets how it is, I think it's bringing a lot of fear in the crypto market as well. People are on the sidelines with the dollars, just waiting to see what happens. Because don't forget, let's see what happens with the markets today when it opens, the stock markets. Let's see what happens on the 2nd of April when Donald Trump gives his speech regarding tariffs. Because at the moment, there's a bit of a tariff war happening, which is, and obviously today, 25% of automobiles around the world pretty much, and definitely in Europe. This is affecting, obviously, a lot of the automobiles in Germany who supply America a lot of their cars. So there's a lot of, like, uncertainty. We've got Taiwan as well. They're starting to react to Donald Trump's tariffs. What are they going to come out? So we're starting to get a bit of a trade war happening right now. So it's going to be very interesting to see what's the 2nd of April. Once that comes out, once the 2nd of April's done, I think, I might be wrong, but I think that we might start easing off a little bit in terms of tariffs. And then we could get back to work of pumping the market. Because like I said, right now we can see here, Wall Street ends down sharply on tariff worries. It's just been downwards, downwards, downwards. We had that bit of a pump where everything was sort of easing off about tariffs, and then suddenly it's come back again now, which is definitely putting a lot of uncertainty as well. And obviously, we know Tesla's dropped quite heavily as well. But one stock at the moment that has really pumped is GameStop. Why is that? Because Bitcoin, as a strategic move, they've actually started to put Bitcoin on their balance sheet. It's been agreed anyway. So obviously this helped rally the market up for, in terms, it says 6.30% there, but we know that it actually went up at the beginning of the market session around about 15%, and it pulled back since, because obviously a lot of the markets pulled back. But overall, this is really bullish news. It just shows you how much adoption Bitcoin is getting throughout the world, and companies are starting to FOMO in on it. And this is what I mean. Bitcoin is the king. I do own a lot of altcoins. I own Bitcoin, and I mine Bitcoin. I've got a load of Bitcoin miners in the background right now making runs. Hopefully, I'm going to get a block of Bitcoin, which is about 3.1 Bitcoin. That'd be an absolutely amazing, wouldn't it? I'm part of the network. I'm buying Bitcoin and buying altcoins as well as a stock market. Because I just want to point here quickly, Dan, give him a follow, Crypto Recruiter. Great guy, been following him since 2018. Like his content, yeah, all the time. He's honest. He gives both sides of the coin. So yeah, give him a follow. But he's just put a list out here which actually just pinpoints why it's so bullish, the crypto market, even with these short-term pullbacks. This is what I mean. If you've got money spare and you're willing to lose, if you're prepared to lose it, then I'd put it in. My personal opinion, that's what I do. If you haven't got the money to put into stock market or crypto, you never do it. You never put money into investments which you can't afford to lose. That's it. I only put spare capital and which I'm prepared to take the risk on, knowing I can lose it all. You know, I don't put like other savings in. I don't put bit money that has to pay me bills. That's the way it is. I don't do that. And it should be the same for you as well. Nothing I say in here is financial advice either. So just bear that one in mind. But anyway, getting into the more positives. GameStop deploys. We just covered that. Billions in Bitcoin. US dollar is tanking. Trump reversal US altcoin stockpile, which is going to include, don't forget, CRO. Tariff economic boom not priced in. America builds a strategic Bitcoin reserve. We've seen that through all the various states which are voting for this reserve, and some are taking it on. America, so we've got BlackRock Bitcoin ETF hit $50 billion. ADA and altcoin ETF momentum. CRO again. Strategic keeps stacking Bitcoin. SEC rules, mining rules is not security. And we're starting to see a lot of the rulings before, the legals, are starting to be removed now, like Coinbase and XRP. You know, so a lot of these are happening now where they're just being actually chucked out the courts now. Fed rate cuts on the deck. We saw that with Jerome Powell, the FOMC meeting. We've also got the pro-crypto SEC in full swing. QT slowing down beginning. So it's not a full QE at the moment. It's just it's gradual move into QE, but that is super bullish. Corporations buying Bitcoin like never before. Nation states, Bitcoin race heating up. Made it in America coins are ready. It's very bullish. Are you ready for it? And this is what I mentioned, going back to that fear and greed. I said that when there's blood on the street and there's a lot of fear and you got spare capital, is it the time to deploy? Everybody has very different situations in terms of that. For me, I'm gradually nibbling away at the moment. If we do drop down to that $70,000 mark potentially, then obviously I'll buy a lot more. We can see the liquidity is building up at the moment at around about 88,000 to 90,000. A little bit down here, $83,000. Now, bear in mind, this could be the market makers. It could be spoofing. Bear that in mind. When people say, oh, we're going to go up here, take it with a pinch of salt, because these can disappear at any point in time. So just bear that one in mind, because market makers like to manipulate. They like to scare you. They like to put fear in you. They like to hype you up, then dump on you. So just bear that one in mind, because what we can see Bitcoin at the moment, we've got that beautiful move, didn't we? Early this last year in October, big move up to the upside, the super guppy expanding like anything, pushing towards the upside, because obviously with Donald Trump and obviously with BlackRock buying Bitcoin as well, put a lot of momentum into towards the upside. And then ever since, we just chopped around sideways, come neutral in the super guppy, and then we dropped down from the super guppy, and now we're starting to expand into the red at the moment. But could we be actually curving back up towards the upside? But what I am watching for at the moment on Cypher B, we have got the money flow which has been coming out, but at the moment it's just stabilizing, just following around sideways at the moment. We have got the momentum wave which is pushed towards the upside, but have we sort of like topping out right now? Because what we're actually creating now, we've created a bit of a bear flag towards the upside at the moment, which could actually potentially break us all the way down to that $70,000 to $69,000. I'm not saying we're going to go down there, but there's a possibility, because like I said, with the stock markets, the uncertainty on that one could break down even further. So we've got to bear that more in mind, that what we could do is, at the moment, because we've fallen below the area of support, that demand zone around here, that the more that we start chopping just below that, it's the more chance that we're creating a resistant area. So we just got to bear that one in mind. Like I said, we're creating that bear flag. But what we've done at the moment, we're just staying above that 200 EMA and that 20 EMA as well. But we're still maintaining below that 50 EMA. So like I said, the more time we stay below this area of resistance, more resistance is being created. And that could potentially mean more towards the downside. Unless we get another catalyst come in regarding crypto and the bulls can step in and push the price further up towards the upside. So we just got to bear that one in mind at the moment as well. Let's get on to crypto.com. As we've already covered this before, we had that fantastic news regarding the ETF and basically Donald Trump social media actually partnering up with crypto.com out of everything. And we had some FUD from Zach on about, like, you know, calling CRO a scam coin or anything like that, where he's far from the truth. Yes, that burn reversal, I'm not a fan of, didn't like it at all, do not like it. So, you know, it is what it is. Nothing we could do about it. I'm not the CEO of crypto.com. I don't know what the plan, unless there's some sort of plan about it. And he hasn't told us yet, because he never told us anything really about it in the AMA, to be honest, which I thought he might do, but he didn't really come out of much. But in terms of that, but what this is really is super bullish for CRO coin, because obviously this means that Donald Trump, ETFs are coming out with a CRO, and obviously it's going to bring in a lot of institutional demand as well. But when Zach said as well, why would he choose Crypto.com over Coinbase, Kraken, and some of the others? Because they don't hold licenses for the stocks. That's why. An intelligent guy like that doesn't even understand that. Because when to hold like stocks or anything like that, as we know Crypto.com had done, because obviously in America now, you can actually buy stocks on their website. So they've got the regulatory licenses to do that, where Kraken, Coinbase haven't. So you just got to take what he said on there with a total pinch of salt and that. So that is why Donald Trump has chosen Crypto.com, because they're also highly regulated. Like Crypto.com or not, they are regulated throughout a lot of the world. So, and they are licensed, so obviously you've got to take that one into account. Yeah, like I said, the burns, I'm not going to get into any further about that. I've already made my point clear on that one. But regarding, adding that circulating supply, but that's going to be done over the years. It's not going to be plopped onto it now. It's going to be done over years. I think it was like 10 years or something like that. So obviously, we've got to wait for more clarity on that one as well. But we didn't get that. So, but obviously, this is really super bullish. I'm still bullish on CRO. I still think we could get to that $1. I really, really do. Yes, people going on about the circulating supply, blah, blah, blah. But that's over time. That's not going to be dumped on the market straight away or anything like that. It's going to be over time. But yeah, it's not great. But look at XRP. Well, they say no, 100 billion or whatever it is. So yeah, just bear that in mind. And look what they went to. They went to $2 to $3. So you just got to bear that in mind and just take it with a pinch of salt a little bit. But market cap takes in at 2.69% billion. 77.82 billion in volume. And we could have a look at the CRO token as well. Like I said, on that news that we had regarding work with Donald Trump, we had that massive 30% pump towards the upside. This is what I mean. People were really bearish down here, obviously, understandably, with the, with obviously the burn reversal. But look at that. Absolutely big pump towards the upside. That's the thing with CRO. We can dump hard, but we can also pump heavy as well. At the moment, we've just come up to that 200 EMA as well. But also, look at that. We've got the market side for B here. Money flow's been coming out, but we're starting to move towards the upside. I'm liking this. I'm liking the money flow starting to move towards the upside. Let's just have a quick check, actually, at the Super Guppy. If we can load that one in and check out what the Super Guppy is. So like I said, we've been coming down. Look at that. Massive move towards the downside on the Super Guppy. But look at that. We're starting to curve back up towards that. The Super Guppy. All these bands are starting to tighten up now. Are we going to get imminently a move towards the upside? Is something else news going to come out regarding Crypto.com or CRO? Because right now it's starting to tighten up more towards the upside, as well as the Cypher B, money outflow starting to push up towards the upside. So look at this. So we've got a lot of support down here as well, about 0.08, and now hopefully we can make way. I think something's going to happen. I think CRO is going to pop. And I think it's going to take a lot of people by surprise, my personal opinion. So keep your eyes close on that and watch that very carefully. But also Litecoin as well. Look at that. Been absolutely making some giga moves towards the upside. I had my airdrop. I've just been buying around here, really. And then we've obviously been making more moves towards the upside. I'm holding this. So I think I've got about 700,000 Litecoins. That's what I've got. And no, I haven't staked them. I'm keeping them on the market. Because, if we really did pump up, really made some giga moves towards the upside, and also season really kicked in. At the end of the day, I want to take some profit, so I don't want to lock it up for a year. Everybody's very different, but that's what I'm doing anyway. But you can see money flows come out. Now we're starting to get a bit of a curvature towards the upside. Momentum wave is starting to turn back up towards the upside. So are we going to get another big move? So obviously, CRO makes a big move. Then obviously, Litecoin's going to make a big move, potentially, to the upside. So keep your eyes up very carefully. Be careful today when the US stock market opens, but also keep an eye on for April the 2nd when Donald Trump does his speech regarding the tariffs as well. So take care out there. Be careful. And have a plan. Have a risk plan. Definitely have a risk plan. So I'll see you soon in the next video. Smash that like button and give us a subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Take care.